Many of you are already experiencing summers in India. Let's celebrate it with a boat painting. We start from the sketch and finish it by applying watercolors. Let us first discuss all the colors. The first one is my cobalt green from the brand Whole Paint. Then is my royal blue. This is ultramarine. I have some amount of my paints gray. You can also go ahead with greens like yellow green and forest green or Van Dyke green. Naples yellow, and the last one is our burnt sienna. You can either mix some amount of ultramarine to create a darker value of burnt sienna, or else just have a Van Dyke brown the way I have on my palette. The best part about today's painting is we are starting from the beginning, that is the entire sketching part, so that you can follow along. The speed of the video is 1.5x. You can always go ahead and adjust the speed of the video as per your requirement. So please do feel free while you do it. The sketching is very simple. I have just drawn a straight line and then I have drawn a rectangular box towards the bottom. Now this rectangular box is going to be our boat. Believe me, when I start out with my watercolors, the first is the sketching, and sketching is majorly the base which I always refer back to. Having said that, why sketching is very, very important, it provides a lot of confidence when you go ahead and start painting. You have an exact framework and guideline that can be followed pretty easily to create a greater outcome. Once you have added your basic shapes and sizes, then it's important to refine it a bit, which means that you have to go ahead and add more curves. Now, what do we mean by exactly curve? Now, this is to frankly add that kind of look which usually happens in a boat. It's usually curved towards the top on the right as well as on the left, but this particular boat is not curved on the left. You can see only the top area more curved. It's more flatter on the back side. I would say that this painting is more balanced and easy compared to all the other boards that you might have attempted till now. Though I will not say that it is one of the easiest, but you can see that this is a very, very close view, and I have still not added so many details which I really wanted to initially, because the whole of the idea of watercolor painting is to paint simple. Painting simple is something that I have always observed throughout my watercolor journey. Initially, when I started out with watercolors, I only wanted to paint loose landscapes. But as I evolved over this journey, I understood the importance of sketching and how important it is to sketch well if you want to attempt all kind of subjects that you paint with watercolors. When I do my, frankly, this particular area, which is more of refinement of our first graphite marks that we did add as shapes and sizes, it is way more darker compared to what I did add earlier. Do I use an absolute HB pencil or maybe a 2H pencil, but still there is a bit of graphite mark as I want to observe it when I go ahead and paint it. That is something very, very important to me. If I cannot observe it, I can't go over it for drawing the lines, etc., that I need in this particular painting. You will not observe that every painting which I do is of freestyle, or it's very very much like loose, etc. I do go ahead and attempt those kind of paintings too, where there is more of your skies and less of land. You may have to only just mark your horizon line, but in this case we have a horizon line which is in the back. We have a simple shoreline as well as we have water. We are not going to complicate any of it. You can also see that this particular boat is not in the middle, although I had to put to an extent in the middle, or else I could not show the boat sailing in the sea. And hence, yes, to an extent you will find it, but it's not placed exactly in the center, which I don't like as per the rule of thirds. You can always check the golden rule of thirds. It's a very, very important rule that it has been followed previously. As well as you can check it on the importance of thumbnail sketch video that I have already added earlier. There I have explained the subject and how it should be placed, etc., on a piece of paper while you do the initial sketching. To show your shoreline in a better way, I always like to add some kind of a mountain or some kind of trees in the background, etc., so that the shoreline is seen properly. And that's something which I'm also going to add for this painting. The horizon line is towards the bottom part compared to the middle of the painting. Again, that's something which I always love to avoid. I don't place any of my horizon lines just in the middle. Either I place it a bit above than the middle or a bit lower than the middle. That's how I love to always place my horizon line. Going ahead and just refining all the details in my painting a bit. And once this refinement is done, we will start out with our painting. First, we are going ahead and attempting the sky. So I will take my largest brush. It is close to an A4 size paper, not exactly A4 size, a bit smaller than that, but the board that I'm sticking it to is almost A4 size. So yes, you can see that I am painting really big compared to what we have attempted till now. Mostly you would have seen me painting on an A5 size paper, but A4 size is something that I like for my own practice, and I do it very often in everyday routine, etc. For florals, I like to only stick to A5 size as there are a lot more details and a lot of paper or a lot of place to cover, which gives me with less opportunity to experiment. And I would say it takes a lot more time to fill up a page or to actually go ahead and just add the details, etc. They are more and it takes longer period of time, and I'm someone who loves to get around with watercolors within like an hour or two, not more than that. I love to spend on this medium because watercolors is something that needs to be quick, that can be painted very quickly, and I always love to keep it that way. Adding some amount of my ultramarine, as I did tell you earlier. Ultramarine has been my favorite shade for many years now. And if you have been following me on Instagram or on YouTube, you would have seen me painting a lot with ultramarine shade and color. I do love to add a bit of direction to my clouds over here, but it seems like, what happens is that this is a really small place and we should not be playing a lot over here, or else the whole idea of the sailing boat will go away. I will add a few more lines with a bit of darker value if need be, and then just take it or pull the colors from the sides towards the middle area. You will see that I'm trying to give a direction, and it will of course end up with a bit of direction, but I'm not going to fill up the entire white of the space that I have in the sky, or else the whole painting will lose the beauty. The sky color is always reflected in the water, but usually if there are coral reefs, etc., sometimes the color becomes more greenish, or you can say a bit more teal in shade, and that's what we are also going to use for this painting. Going with my lightest value of green for the background mountain or the hillscape, I will add some amount of my yellow green and then just blend it with the darker value of green towards the bottom area of this mountain. You will see how I do add it. It is still wet, though I have struggled a lot in this painting because what happens is that now it is really hot, and it's fairly fairly very hot in many parts of India. During this time, either you have to paint very, very quickly and not look at any kind of details to cover up your paper, or else you might have to just go ahead and add some water on the back side of the paper so that this particular sheet can be kept wet for a longer period of time. that is something you might have to follow even for all your future reference paintings. Or else you may end up getting those hard edges which we don't want in any of our paintings for sure. Once you have painted around the horizon line, you need to let this paper dry off, or else the colors will move from the horizon line towards the bottom area, that is the sea, and that's something which I don't want. I want this horizon line to be seen well, and that's one of the reasons I did apply the colors and want the hard edges, which I have been saying to avoid for many of my other paintings earlier. Going ahead with a very beautiful shade, which is cobalt green. But the green is really a lot green than I want, hence I have mixed some amount of royal blue into it. You can also go ahead and mix some amount of ultramarine if you don't have the royal blue available for yourself. You can always find how to actually mix the cobalt green and get it. That you can go ahead and check out always on internet and understand what is the best possible colors. You can mix some amount of green and phthalo blue and see if you get a shade that is closer to the one which I am using. You will for sure get a shade that is closer to this one because I've also experimented with that color, but I had readily available cobalt green and hence I'm using this cobalt green. Going ahead and blending the colors till the boat area, and then this is a very calming shade, as I always say. It is the shade of the sea, which I have been loving thoroughly for many of my paintings. I have used it, and it's been an amazing journey of seascapes with this color. You will see more of this coming up as it is already the summer season in India. And how about celebrating summers without seascape? No, it has to be with seascape, water, etc. Reflections, we would be doing a lot of them in the coming days. And some amount of flowers, springs, etc. We will be celebrating it completely. Going ahead and applying some amount of my Naples yellow and mix of brown into the shoreline area. You can always see that the colors will move, and I am now using more of burnt sienna. You will see that this particular video is 1.5x, and hence the speed of me painting is very quick. But you can always reduce the speed. As I have told you earlier, adjusting the speed is up to you, or else stop the video wherever it is needed. Going ahead with a very watery or a really toned down mix of my Naples yellow and applying it on the sailing boat area where usually the cloth is. And why I like to put it a bit more creamy than white. The boat is sailing and it cannot remain white forever. There will be some amount of wear and tear, which you will also observe, and hence it's important to show that wear and tear even in our paintings. Going ahead with some of our darker value of brown, and this is majorly my Van Dyke green mixed with some amount of burnt sienna, as you can observe. I will continue to add some amount of these darker values into the shoreline. A mix of colors is always a great idea that really shows more of realism into the painting. I think watercolors is all to do with what we observe and what we see from nature. I am truly inspired by nature, and most of my paintings that I do is also inspired absolutely from nature or from urban sketching. Everything that I see in and around me is what I love to paint. Going ahead with some of my burnt sienna for the boat area, and you can see I'm continuously applying the water to tone it down as it goes to the lower part. I do this very often. Even after applying the colors, I tone it down or I add some blue to get the darkest value. You can also use ultramarine. There's a granulation effect in ultramarine, and that really is something which I have been loving through all the paintings that I have done till now. Adding some of this beautiful lines which we usually observe in a worn out board that is made out of wood. You can see how I am happy and excited to be painting this along with you. That's why I wanted to include an absolute beginner to end kind of a thing where I'm even drawing and sketching with you, so that you get to understand that it's not very difficult to go ahead and draw a board as well as paint it with watercolors. Only the intention is important in watercolors and some amount of patience. Believe me, you can do this within the next 40-45 minutes if you have the patience. That's important. That's the only key important ingredient for watercolor painting, I would say. This is pretty much a huge paper which I have considered, but you can go ahead and even go for an A5 size paper in case you are not very comfortable working on a paper that is close to A4 size. I would leave that decision up to you, but with the larger size, you can play a lot and you may find it easier to work around with your brushes, paints, etc. And what happens in a smaller paper is there is very less space to play. That's one of the reasons I thought that this time it would be good to work on a bigger size of paper. The blue which I have considered is royal blue, as you can observe over here. It's from the brand Senelier, and you can also go ahead with any of your other blues and mix a bit of white in it to create the opacity that we need for this painting. I have used my size 1 brush to draw all these lines, but exactly when you work on a smaller size paper, you may have to use thinner brushes to add the lines, etc., on the board. Going ahead with some more of my lines as we progress through this painting, lines and lines and lines is what you are going to observe with a few strokes that I would be adding even for the cloth area of this particular board. The board is simple, believe me. We need to focus on a few things after this. That is the shadow of the board. The shadow of the boat would be falling on the bottom area, and some shadows we are also going to create on the land area that is there on the right side. Let us now work on the detailing part. You can see we have already applied colors in most of the areas wherever it was needed. Now we need to just enhance the power of going into the texture of the board or adding bit more lines for our board structure, as well as some amount of shadows into the water area, etc. Now, these are to make the painting look more, I would say, aesthetically beautiful. As otherwise, if you just apply the colors and leave it as such, it becomes a flat wash and it doesn't attract a lot of attention. Now, we want a lot of attention to be applied to this board that we are painting, and hence, we have to do a few more things on it. I'm going ahead and applying some more darker values along the shoreline, as well as there would be some more shadows also that I will go ahead and apply as we progress. Continue to just blend your colors as you see me doing over here. There is less, I would say, left as of now because majority of the work we have already done. It's only simple details that you will observe me adding a few lines, a few dots here and there. That's all. There is very less amount of, I would say, further work on where we have to apply a lot of colors in any areas or have to like detail every area very minutely. There is not much of all of that. It's only simple, easy detailing parts. Those are left for you to work on. Adding a few darker values. Now, this is majorly my Van Dyke brown. You can also go ahead with sepia if you do not have the Van Dyke brown with yourself. I am going ahead and just adding the burnt sienna towards the top slanting area, and I continue to just add it with the help of my size 1 Escoda Perla series brush. This is a very beautiful brush and it has got a very nice tip. In case any of you want to actually go ahead and try something like this, I would ask you to purchase it without any hesitation. as it is one of my favorite brushes that I have used till now. You need to take care of all your brushes. Never ever leave your brushes in water like that. Then, of course, your brushes will get spoiled. Or else you will see that there is a really, really long life of these brushes. I have been using these silver brushes for almost 4 years or 5 years now. So I know that brushes do stay with you for a really, really long period. Mix some amount of my burnt sienna into the Naples yellow, and that's how I am altering my strokes to add the lines over here. Finally, once this part particularly dries off, we will add a few lines even to make it look a bit more better in terms of to show the creases of the cloth in a better way. That's the only, I would say, more detailing kind of stuff which is left. Rest, I am pretty happy and satisfied with this whole of the painting which is coming together. A few more shadows and some white lines. At this moment, I would leave it up to you to just follow along with me, and then I hope that you keep enjoying this session and see more of me this week too on Sunday as I come up with videos every Sunday. This was a bit delayed as I have a toddler and she wanted to go for a shopping day on Sunday. Hence, it was difficult for me to upload it. Having said all of this, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. I do come up with videos every week and lots of interesting stuff coming up even in the upcoming days. I happen to start out with a few of the videos where I will be sketching and then painting over it. That would be very helpful for everyone who is not very well versed with the sketching part. At least when I started out, I was not, and hence I would love to go ahead and try the sketching too. Continue and see you very soon in the next video. Till then, a very, very happy painting and hope you do fall in love with watercolors.